Sarah and I had been together for almost 3 years, and for the longest time, I thought we had something real. We lived together in a small apartment, shared responsibilities, and talked about the future often. There were casual discussions about marriage, about places we wanted to travel to, about how life would be in 5 or 10 years. I trusted her completely. She was my best friend. Things started to change when she got a new job. At first, I was happy for her. She had been struggling to find something she truly liked, and this seemed like a good opportunity. She would come home excited, telling me about her day, her new coworkers, and the office dynamics. But one name kept coming up over and over again: Mark. She described him as really funny, super easy to talk to, and one of the coolest guys she had met in a while. At first, I didn't think anything of it. People make work friends all the time, and I wasn't the kind of person to get jealous over something so small. But over the next few weeks, I started noticing little things. She was dressing up more for work, not just putting in effort, but going out of her way to look perfect. She suddenly had a new perfume, one she had never worn around me before. She started staying late at the office, always saying there was so much work to do. The first few times, I believed her. Then it became a pattern. She was getting home later and later, sometimes well past midnight. When I asked her about it, she would brush me off, saying it was just a busy period at work. One night, she told me she had to go on a business trip. It was sudden. She hadn't mentioned it before, and I was surprised because I didn't think her role required any kind of travel. When I asked for details, she was vague. "Just a quick overnight thing," she said. "Nothing major." She told me not to worry, that it was just part of the job, and she'd be back before I knew it. But something didn't sit right with me. I had never been the kind of person to snoop, but something in my gut told me to check. I logged into our shared laptop and found her email open. My hands shook as I scrolled through her messages. There was nothing about a business trip. Instead, there were messages between her and one of her friends. In them, she admitted that she wanted to sleep with Mark and that she had been planning this trip as a way to make it happen. She even laid out her entire plan, how she would tell me it was work-related, how she would make sure I didn't suspect anything, how she had already booked a hotel with him. I felt sick. It wasn't just that she wanted to cheat. It was the fact that she had planned it. She had lied so smoothly, so effortlessly, looking me in the eyes and pretending that everything was normal. I couldn't even be angry at first. I was just numb. This was the person I had loved, the person I had trusted with everything, and she had been willing to betray me without a second thought. I didn't confront her right away. Instead, I waited until she left for her so-called business trip. As soon as she walked out the door, I started packing my things. I wasn't going to waste another second in that apartment. I took only what I needed and left a note on the kitchen counter. "I know everything. Don't bother coming back." Then I blocked her on everything: her number, social media, even email. I didn't want to hear her excuses. I didn't want her to try to manipulate me into staying. I was done. She tried reaching out later. First, it was through mutual friends, then through a different number. She said it was all a misunderstanding, that I had it all wrong, but I knew better. I had seen it with my own eyes. There was nothing left to discuss. Looking back, I'm glad I found out when I did. If she had gotten away with it once, she would have done it again. The person I thought I knew never really existed, and as painful as it was, I was better off without her.